Sana, kasama natin imported from Canada. Mga kaibigan, ano pa rin, crush pa rin ng bayan hanggang ngayon. Si Mrs. Josefina Pasis. Pero better known as Joey Albert, siyempre.
Hello, everyone.
Remember the girl.
Hi, Anna. It's so nice to see you guys again. Alam mo, parang na-homesick ako bigla looking at you.
Yeah, you should be kasi nakakamiss ako eh.
I have to say, you're one of the dearest reporters. You were one of the kindest to me, one of the truest, one of the most real. For some reason, every time you interviewed me, I felt that you were genuinely concerned and you genuinely wanted to know about me. And you know, for an artist to sense, we sense it, you just don't know it, but we know. Ako, I know. And through the years, since the 80s ka pa, ha?
Grabe, hindi naman. Mga ano to, toward the 90s na yan.
Toward the 90s na ba? Well, 80s pa rin, mga 88, 89.
Ganon, mga ganon, oo.
Pero po, I'm honored na makaharap kayo ngayon. This is the first time actually.
So how do you assess her? Genuine ba?
Genuine.
Okay. Sige.
You can tell, you can tell naman. At least I can tell. Bakit? Kasi matanda na ako, kaya I can tell.
Anyway, okay, sige. Well, let's start kasi you went to Canada na 1995.
Right.
Okay. What adjustments did you make? Ano bang pinagagawa mo sa Canada ng mga adjustments?
Super great adjustment. Siyempre, Manila, sarap ng buhay natin dyan. There's maids, there's drivers. My children had one yaya each. We had kusinera, we had houseboy, we had driver. So what's that na? Kusinera, houseboy, driver, yaya 1, yaya 2, because I had 2 daughters, right? And the bandera. When I got to Canada, ako lahat yun. Everything. And my big joke nga every time I do concerts in the States, it's like, sino dyan, mga Canadian? And I tell the story, and then I changed my career from singer to domestic helper. and I became Canadian.
Bayad, ha?
I know, wala pang bayad. And then I always say, Canadian. Sabi ng asawa, kala ko naman excited ako maging Canadian. Yung pala, sabihan lang ako ng asawa ko, magluto ka na dyan, maglinis ka na dyan. So yeah, it was a big adjustment. I'm not saying naman na hindi ako marunong. Marunong naman ako. Pero it's just, in Manila, you like to cook. Siyempre, may taga-chop ka. Mixing ka lang, di ba? Dito ikaw lahat. So, it's fun to do those things once in a while, but when you have to do it every day, and then when you know that you're going to have to do it every day for the rest of your life, and then of course, being a mom was also hard kasi, alam mo naman sa Manila, bibigay lang yung baby mo sa'yo, nakaligo na, naka-breakfast na, amoy pulbo na, kuchi, tas bye-bye, go to school ka na. Here, ikaw yung magpapaligo, ikaw yung hala ka na nga halos tayo magkuchi-kuchi kasi, diba? So it was really, time management was a problem. And then parenting became a problem too because, how we were all raised, it was because I said so, or wag ka sasagot, or, diba? I couldn't do that to my kids. I was caught up in that generation where I was caught in the middle of old parenting and now a more global, internet-driven generation, right? And hindi mo na maloko kasi they're Googling. Hindi mo na sila pwede lokohin. Like, at grade 1, my daughter would come home from school. Mom, my teacher said you can't spank me. Because they're taught in school, in grade 1, they're taught that already.
Kumuha ka lang sila. Yes, I can.
Nagkakainis. You know what I did? Nanood kami ng Annie, the movie Annie. Tapos sabi ko, kita mo yan? You see that orphanage? Jan, you know when they take you away from mommy? That's where they'll put you. And then you have no more chocolates, you have no toys at Christmas, and then you're so... Tapos yung mukha nila talagang... O, ayan, sige.
Alam mo, mabait pa rin sila kasi kung ako yung naging anak mo, sabi ko, Annie was before the war.
Masyado ka kasing smart.
Okay.
It was hard. It was really hard. It's so hard. And then, of course, in Manila, when you say, oh, family, there's lolo, lola, cousin, tito, tita, all their cousins. Pag Christmas, isang tambak na Christmas gift under the tree kasi ang daming family. Dito, pagdating dito Christmas, apat lang kami. Wawalo lang yung gifts under the Christmas tree. Talagang, kakaiyak. We don't have other relatives kasi here. So it's just us lang talaga. So family, the meaning of family changed from extended family to 4. So ang dami. It was like, but you know what? It was the hardest. And I would say maybe the poorest. Kasi I didn't have work. I told my husband, I'll come here on one condition, that I will be a stay-home mom. So, syempre, we were a single income family, right? So, although it's enough here, I didn't have hindi ka na pwede mag-shopping sa Viva, hindi ka na pwede kumain sa Manila Pen, diba? Kain na kami sa McDonald's, double cheeseburger, tapos nag-isa na lang sila. Ganun. It was hard at the start talaga. But you know what I always say? It was the hardest, maybe the poorest time in my life, but it was the most wonderful.
So, yung pagpunta niyo po dyan is you did it all for love.
You know, to be very honest with you, I pretty much came here kicking and screaming. It was really my husband who wanted to come. Because he was very...
Kaya mo ba dinubulong?
Kasi nakakaya. Siyempre, gusto kong sabihin sa tao, no? Ako yun. Kasi hindi totoo. But it was really more him. Because he was determined talaga. He was so focused on the future of the children. Eh, siyempre, bakit? Ang sarap-sarap maging singer dito, di ba? But my mom, you know my mom, right? I have my mom, like, you go where your husband goes. Like, okay. You must, meron pa siyang ganito. You must decrease so he can increase. Oh, fine.
Sino ba sa mga singers ng generation mo ang naging talagang kaibigan mo talaga?
Me, there was a time I was close to Pops and Martin. There was a time I was parang time, and there was a time I was really close to Gary. We were barkada, Gary, Ruel, Janice, Anjali, of course, Louie and myself. We just would hang out practically every day in Janice's house. There was a time, but the one that I really kept close contact with all throughout the years, even now, is Janet Basco.
Si Janet Bacabasco.
Yes. Yes. But you know, it's I'm able to keep in touch with some of the close ones because I like si Raymond Lochenko. I was able to bring him here to Canada. I was able to have a little show for him here. Nonay Siniga, a little show for him here. The company, the company, we were fortunate enough to have the last live concert tour here in Vancouver. Umuwi sila February 27. Nag-announce ng COVID dito March 3. Grabe. So parang, go ahead.
Mabilis lang ito. Alam mo ba, Ana, nung araw, nag-name ako ng top 5 singers talaga na to. Number 1, Kulidesma. 2, Celeste Legaspi. Tapos, Bernie Varga. Tapos,
Shasha.
Ha?
Shasha pa.
Tapos, Tapos, yun. Well, marami. Pero, 5 yun talaga eh. Kaya lang isa kasi, biglang nag-iba yung singing style eh. Kasi parang nakalulo ng sabon.
Sino yun?
Makakanta, bumubulan.
Oh my gosh. Ikaw talaga? Maldito.
Sige, wala at mamaya. Wala. Okay, sige, ito na.
Mamaya, off the record. Oh my gosh, so funny.
Okay,
Ikaw talaga kung ano pinagsusulat mo. Do you remember? Do you remember sinabi mo, I'm the most boring singer?
Hello.
Kasi,
Nung
yeah, I was. Kasi walang controversy. Sabi niya.
Ayun.
Okay.
Sabi niya, she's the most boring. Sabi ko,
boring naman siya talaga. Ang live, ang
kakainis to ah! Tapos kasi syempre first, ano mo lang yan, tagline mo yan eh. Ano talaga ako, excuse me! Tapos yung pala, kasi walang controversy.
Oo, ang boring ng buhay.
Ang boring-boring ng buhay ko.
Kaya nagpunta ng Canada yan para humanap ng buhay.
Para humanap ng problema.
Oh, anyway, ito naman, ito, seryoso na ha. Kasi,
Okay.
health-wise, kumusta ka na? Kasi, well, the last time, meron kang, alam ko, may problema ka.
I think the last time I saw you, I think you were there in the 2016 press conference for Dennis Lambert. No, no, you interviewed me, no, solo for the Dennis Lambert concert, no? Yeah.
Sa Tasayan, ano bang tayo, na pinuntahan kita doon?
Yeah, yes. So that was my last episode na and my last chemo. So it's been 5 years. So whereas 2020 is a bad year for most people, it is a good year for me because it marks my another remission. Kasi 5 years, diba, they count 5 years after the cancer, and after 5 years they say you're in total remission. So 2020 marks my total remission from my last cancer. So it's a good year for me.
Okay.
In that sense.
Nung interviewed yun nung mga bata pa tayo, kulang yan, sabi ko sa yung tinanong kita about the Albert's colon.
Yes.
Pwede bang, ito nasa medical books ito, international medical book ito lahat na nandun. Ano na nga ba yung Albert's colon? Ikaw na magpaliwanag at para ma-warn natin lahat ng tao.
Actually, to begin with, nagulat talaga ako kasi if I remember right, parang ikaw yung unang nagsabi sa akin na yung Albert's colon is actually in the books. Hindi ko yun alam dati. Ikaw ang nagsabi sa akin na mula pa sa Amerika nandun na yung Albert's colon pala. It was already coined as the Albert's colon. So, it is primarily because in the Albert's family, first, second, hanggang third generation, about maybe 85-90% of Alberts die or get sick of colon cancer specifically. And nobody knew why before. But when it would happen in one family, kunyari sa isang family, mangyayari siya sa 3 o 4 na tao sa isang family. Maraming ganon. So, Telly Albert Zulueta, 4 sa mga anak niya. Siya at 3 anak namatay of colon cancer. Ako, my father, my sister, tas ako tinamaan. The Reyes sisters, 5 sila or 4. Ila Albert from Bacolod. So there's Ila, 3 girls, a brother. They all have it. 3 died already. So ganun yung mga pangyayari. When I had mine in 2003, it also so happened, I had a second-degree cousin who died of it in Australia. And in Australia, syempre iba dun yung medical system, very, very, very intricate yung system nila doon. They kept all his records and they're the ones who started the genetic testing there. And they discovered that he had the Lynch syndrome. So when I had mine, they kept my cells, my cancer cells, and then they coordinated. Kasi pareho naman Commonwealth countries. So the hospitals here and the hospital in Australia matched records and then tested my cancer cells, and they confirmed that I also had the same Lynch syndrome. And the Lynch syndrome is a genetic deficiency it's a gene that causes colon cancer in both men and women. So in men, it will hit the colon. In women, it will hit both the colon and the reproductive organs. And it can be inherited one generation after another. It will not skip a generation. So if you have any such history, I really strongly recommend to try to go for genetic testing. Like I said, I had my 2 daughters tested very reluctantly, but I had them tested when they were older. And true enough, one of them got it. So one of them already has the Lynch syndrome gene. But sad as I was when I found out, this actually, everybody was saying it's actually a good thing kasi at least pwedeng maagapan. And like I said earlier, ang cancer, talagang labanan dyan, unahan eh. Kailangan talaga unahan mo siya. So, sana, I don't know if I'm pretty sure there must be genetic testing in the Philippines. I heard meron sa UP yata meron.
Pero yung daughter mo, anong okay na?
Well, she doesn't have cancer, but she has the gene. So when she found out, she was 25 years old. That was 5 years ago. So the doctor immediately sent her for colonoscopies every 2 years. So itetest na siya every 2 years.
So at this point, arrested na ba o hindi pa talaga?
So what happens is, doon sa last colonoscopy niya, they found a polyp. So immediately, tatanggalin na nila yon. Hindi nila iintayin na mag-develop siya into cancer. So yun yung advantage of knowing ahead of time kung you have the gene.
Pero sa Canada naman kasi sagot ng gobyerno yan.
Yes.
Good decision din ng husband mo.
Sorry?
It was a good decision on your husband.
Yes. And you know what? For all you know, like you know, God is before all things. He always knows. And when you look back, you always say, oh nga, no, buti na lang, di ba? And I really think that's because God really knows our needs even before we do. Kasi can you imagine, if I had to go through 2 surgeries and 2 rounds of chemo in the Philippines, it would have been very, very taxing, even financially. Mostly financially, I think. Diba? So,
grabe din yung strength niya, no, Miss Joey?
Alam mo, you'll only know when you're there kung ano yung kaya mo pala.
Well, kaya unfortunately, ang gaganda nga ng lahi nila. Tapos ka lang gano'n na Roto syndrome. Yun ang problema, di ba?
Yung anak mo, yung ibang mana naman, kanta, may nakuha ba?
You know, they both love to sing. And the second one could have been the one, my Marga. But you know, ayaw nila. They're more interested in what they do. They both love to play rugby. They love their sports. They love their rock climbing. They love their outdoor life. Grabe.
Ano yung nag-girly nyo medyo sila.
But you know, it's okay because, you know, early on, my husband and I agreed that we wanted for our children what they wanted. We would never tell them what to become. And that was something that was easy here for us. Kasi walang ibang kamag-anak na nagsasabing, dapat ganito, dapat ganyan, you know. So we were able to give our children the freedom to choose and become who they wanted to be.
So, may community ka dyan, Miss Joey? May mga kaibigan kang Pinoy dyan?
Meron naman. And I have some classmates na are from Manila, so... And here, it's your friends. Parang your friends become your family here.
So, nakakain ka pa rin ng pancit. At saka...
meron. Noong umpisa, hindi. Ngayon, marami na. Meron pa nga nagluluto ng Filipino-Spanish food. Meron akong paella, fabada, salpik.
And kasi, from being a singer, parang ang alam ko ngayon ay, at nakapit ko na yun, nag-career shift na ikaw na bagong Charo Santos sponsor ng Canada. Meron ko
that just happened because of COVID. That's not my job. My real job is my daycare. I run a daycare here. I'm a teacher. But this thing came about because of COVID.
Tell us about itong project mo to.
Dear Joey is a YouTube channel that came about starting in October. I was having lunch with a friend and we were discussing projects, not YouTube projects, not online projects, because even as of that time last year, I was not attuned with online things, because of my age, it was a challenge for me. In fact, to do the Bayanihan Musikahan, I was so nervous because I had no idea. I was treading totally new waters. It was so challenging for me. But I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said, you Joey, you have a way naman with communicating even through the medium. And I was like, yeah, really? Yeah, you should think of doing something. I said, and then I just thought about something. I've always wanted to have a Dear Joey column in a newspaper or a magazine. Remember, I used to have a column for OPM in Inquirer. Do you remember that?
I wrote for the Philippine Star.
Star. Was it Star? I was for Inquirer. I'm not sure, but I did have a column. I look na here. I have it here. I used to write, and I used to enjoy it. So I always wanted to do a Dear Joey column. And he said, oh, we can do that online. And so it started developing into a concept. And simultaneously, at the same time, I was also trying to find a way to continue to support my mommy's congregation. Because she founded the first Filipino founded congregation of priests, diba? You know that one, the Marian missionaries. And when mommy died, I took it upon myself to find ways to take care of them. Pinramis ko na hindi ko sila pababayaan.
Paano nakakarating ang mga letters sa'yo? Hindi naman slow mail.
Email. They email me.
At least hindi naman wala ng postage stamp.
Yeah, it's snail mail. So we spoke to Vivian, and she was like, "Oh, that's a pretty neat idea." So, ayan na, tuloy-tuloy na. We tried one, became two, became three. People actually started writing. So I was like, "Cool, this is cool." So,
Question, paano mo na-verify kung totoo yung sulat o hindi? Kasi marami, kahit tanungin mo si Helen, hindi mo pa rin alam yung si Helen Bella pala. Kung pagpapasaya.
oh, we're dating ourselves, hala? Charo Santos naman.
Merong mga fake eh. Kahit sa maalaala mo kaya, may mga fake din dumadating eh.
I wouldn't know, except that they sound naman sincere. And I write back and forth with them. So, feeling ko, kung nagsisinungaling ito mga to, mauubusan ito eh. Mauubusan yan eh. Kasi they write, I write back. And I write back with questions and ganyan. Tapos they write naman back. Kasi kung hindi totoo yung pinanggagalingan, mauubusan din sila ng masasabi, diba? So far naman hindi. But, that's a good point. I have to find a way to be able to do that.
Mamaya, ituturo ko sa'yo.
Oh, sige.
Advice ba?
Mas kinakantahan niya. Oo.
Actually, like I always say, I don't have advice to say, but I'll have a song to brighten your day. Kasi it's hard, it's scary to give advice kasi di mo rin alam kung ano pinanggalingan nila. You might be saying something that's offensive to them culturally or with their social status or gender status. I don't know, diba? So to be careful. So I think it's more of just acknowledging them, listening to them, acknowledging the courage that it has taken them to step out of their comfort zone, and then just find the song to sing to them. And sometimes sila na yung nagre-request ng song.
Hindi na pa nag-edit. Ang ganda ng editing nyo eh.
Yes, I have. Yung friend ko, nakausap ko, nagkikwentuhan lang kami about this concept. So his name is Kimuel Del Rosario. Actually, by profession, he's a violinist, and he actually used to play for the orchestras in the Philippines. Marami siyang kaibigan dyan sa MSO and BPO, and he's friends with Gerard Salonga. So by profession, but he also just loves to do this. He's also a sound engineer kasi. Kaya, we don't make money out of this, or not yet. But the thing that pushed me also is, and I talked to Vivian about it, was somebody told me that somebody opened my mind to monetizing, which is something I obviously didn't know about because of my age. And so it just felt like a window opened and an opportunity came for me to be able to provide consistent financial support for mommy's priests. And I think if it's a win-win, right? It will give them financial support. It will give people help and pleasure, at least some joy and some comfort at a time like this when people need it the most because of COVID.
Okay, since meron kang Dear Joey na vlog, pwede bang like you dig into your experiences, no? Can you share with us nga, parang sige, the happiest memory you ever had in your past 28 years?
The happiest?
Happiest, oo.
Siyempre, when I got home from cancer, when I got home from the hospital, that was my happiest. That was, diba, yung mga, my triumphs over my cancer are always one of my happiest times. Coming home to Manila to visit mom was always a happy time. Being able to sing with my colleagues, those are happy times. Those are my good moments.
Okay, saddest naman. Sorry.
Siyempre, when mommy died na, I think that would have been one of the saddest times in my last long years. I mean, it's something that had to happen, but siyempre, it's still sad.
Okay, sige, ito na nga, funniest.
Funniest?
Nahulog ka na mas entablado while singing?
Oh my gosh. No, but naipit na yung takong ko sa stage. So many things. Yeah, yung mga bloopers sa stage. Yeah, I think that funniest, I don't. So many. The thing is, when funny things happen to me, it doesn't really make a mark anymore because I just learned to roll over with it. I just laugh with my audience and make fun of myself. I'm that kind of a person. I laugh at myself. I make fun of myself. And I think that's something that makes it easier for the audiences to accept you and like you and enjoy you. So, yeah, if ever I've done funny things on stage, I really can't tell one from another because there are probably so many na.
Paano ngayon, how do you connect sa generation ngayon? Of course, itong Dear Joey is one, no? Pero yung...
I know! Oh my gosh! Putsch! I have millennial fans. Like, what?
Ano ginawa mo para na...
when it started, okay, like 2 years ago, remember, I don't know, I go, every now and then I do these pagcor tours, diba? And the reason I do the pagcor tours is it's because it brings me back outside Metro Manila because it brings me all the way to Davao, Cebu, all these places. And for me, it's my way of being able to reach back out because I'm so isolated here. It's my way of being able to reach back out to Filipinos outside of Canada, outside of Metro Manila. So I love doing those pagcor shows. And you know me, Butch, I love those small intimate shows. Because I'm comfortable there. Right?
Online, Joey?
No, 2 years ago. No, the pagcor shows were talagang you travel. As in they'll schedule like 14 shows in 2 months. Talagang dikit-dikit. So that's where it started. There was a small group of like 20-year-olds who'd come and watch. And like, alam mo, when you were born, nasa Canada na ako. But, and then they follow you, they were in touch with each other because Facebook, and it blows my mind how there were 6 to start with. It just blew my mind how these 6 children could know my music, love my music, love me, and like, it's like, okay.
Did you interview them na bakit? Saan kanila na-discover?
Oh, I think basically they probably know my music from their moms or grandmoms.
Hindi. Kasi hanggang ang mga nakanta mo kasi, napakaraming naging classic na hanggang ngayon, tinutugtog pa rin eh.
So they know it pa.
Oo, they pa.
No, but most of what's being played are remakes, right?
But still, alam nila kung sino yung original. Madali namang i-search yun eh.
Ay, hindi. Tsaka kasi nga, nauso yung karaoke. Nandun
I dare. That might be it too.
Oo. At saka ang mga kanta mo kasi napaka-singable eh, di ba?
Easy lang kasi.
Ako,
They're radio-friendly.
Mahirap kantahin yun.
Which one?
Ikaw lang ang mamahal.
No, actually it's not. Kunyari lang. Kunyari lang. And some versions really make it sound so hard, but really it's not. It's really a soft song.
Teka, tanongin ko lang, napapakinabangan mo ba talaga yung royalties mo sa PhilSCAP? Ang PhilSCAP, ikaw na nga magpaliwanag kung ano yung PhilSCAP.
Well, PhilSCAP is supposed to be paying for giving you royalties for the songs you compose. Wala pa tayong performance royalties, no? Songwriter. Wala pa.
Hindi mo pinapakinabangan.
Actually, nakakatanggap pa rin ako. But only so far for one song na lang. Ikaw lang mamahalin. Kasi they always use it for teleseries and movies. And the only reason I'm getting it's because I'm the lyricist. But the rest of so you have to write the song to get royalties. But Poly East has been really good about collecting and giving to me. I mean, it's not like the royalties in the States that you can be a millionaire now with one song. But it's nice to know. Yeah. Sometimes it is, I go to Manila, I have extra money. Yay!
Ano ginagawa ko doon sa yung sa limpak-limpak na
It's not.
napadala sa'yo?
It's not limpak-limpak. Pag shopping na lang.
At least pwede kang shopping.
Yawa! O, diba? At least every time I go to Manila, oh, there's money in my bank account.
Kamulang ibig sabihin, ang yumayaman din sa collaboration.
Usually naman
Yung, you remember the boy?
Si Joey Richan yun. I remember. Oh, mas mayaman siya.
Mayaman siya. In-touch pa ba kayo?
Yeah, naman.
In-touch pa ba kayo?
Yeah. Our last was, remember the 2007? Remember that? The reunion concert in Music Museum? You remember that?
No.
You didn't go? Oh my gosh!
Invite me.
Huh?
You didn't
Talaga?
invite me.
No, I'm pretty sure Sandra Chavez did.
Sandra did not.
Aha! I will scold Sandra.
Batan talaga tayo.
So, yung mga fans mo pala, may nakipag-zoom ka sa kanila, yung mga millennial fans mo.
Yeah, we did one. This Vivian kasi, she organized it. I was like, Vivian, how giant this be? No. So I said, sige, I'll just drop in. And yung drop in ko, it ended up being parang 4 hours.
Grabe. Ano mga tinatanong nila sa'yo?
Ha?
Anong mga tinatanong nila sa'yo?
No, actually, what did we do? Ako nagtanong sa kanila kung ano yung mga New Year's resolution nila.
May konting kantahan din.
Yeah. But yeah, Louis, like we got in touch. Sometimes you have projects, so napipilitan siya to talk to me. And then, we'd bump into each other. Like we saw each other in the funeral of Rudy Lozano. And Louis, this son was precious. Louis actually came when my mom had died. He came and he stayed for the service, and that was really special. Not only for me, but also for my niece, Boogie, because my niece was very close to him. I was like her second mom. And at the time that her mom died, it was Louis that was always at home. So she really actually grew up with Louis. And Louis coming to the funeral of mom meant a lot to me, but actually meant more to Boogie. So I'm really, huh?
Nag-judge sa Showtime eh. Kaya, kilala.
Yeah. I sometimes when I go home to Manila, I'm able to watch that.
Ikaw wala. So, pero siyempre, sa tingin mo, sino sa mga young singers ngayon ang nakikita mo may potential?
You know, that's so funny. I saw your question and said, Vivian, you have to brief me. I don't anymore know the young singers. Like, I'm so bad. You know, because sometimes I hear of them na lang when they come here, and I hear their names. There's Moira or Marisa, and I hear their names and I see them, and sometimes the fans request songs from the young singers, and I'm like, sorry, naiwan ako kay Sarah Geronimo. This is don't know anyone.
Bago-bago pa sa'yo yun, ha?
That's bago na to be. Buti nga, hindi Iisa Sigera. For a while, it was Iisa Sigera. Like, oh my gosh. But, no, I'm so bad. But,
singer.
Ay, oo naman.
Kailangan Joey Albert sa mga
Oo nga eh.
Merong pantapat sa kabiguan mo.
The Bigo Song Stress.
but you know, there's a girl who sang with Sarah. I really like her. Yang Constantino. Okay, I don't know how current she is, but to me she's already current. But I like her, and I like the voice of that Nina. She's a very... Ba't ka natatawa? Ano ka ba?
Natatawa kasi. Natatawa sa sabi mo. Galing lahat sa mga song, yung mga talent search. Alam mo ba kung saan ang galing to?
Hindi nga eh.
Dream Girl.
I know, right?
Pagandahan ang mukha. Hindi naman sa pageant. Hindi mo siya mapapayagan ng nanay niya, no?
Kilala. Butch, di ba? Ikwento mo yung minstrels. Di ba hindi ako pinayagan? Kasi I was still in school.
Ano pala?
Talagang, no.
Ay, hindi. Assumptionistang, di ba? Estes ka, di ba? Una.
Si Teresa's and the assumption. Gusto yata ako gawin madre ng nanay ko.
Kaya nga. Pangarap na gano'n, hindi ko siya madre.
Oops.
Ito na, ano na naman natin, no? Yung mga, total, lahat naman ng sawi. ikaw ang mga...
Oh, I am, heartbreak queen.
mga sawi. Okay. Pwede bang, game lang naman, parang ano maaalala mo?
Okay.
Sige. Okay, dun sa Iisa Pa Lamang.
Iisa Pa Lamang?
Oo.
Siyempre, Richard Gomez.
Dahil sa movie.
Oo. Pero ano ang original lyrics niyan? Ang tawag dyan, the most lascivious song ever.
Really? No? Why?
Kantahin mo. Sige, kantahin mo yung to.
Sa dinami-dami ng aking minahal.
Di ba yung nakapiling, di ba? May part na
nakapiling.
Oo.
Kung sino-sino.
Nakapiling. Okay, stop there. Yung nakapiling, sa dinami-dami ng aking nakapiling, ang original word dyan, nakasiping.
Sino may sabi?
Joey Reyes.
Oh, really?
Oo.
And then, why they cheat? Because it's not bagay to me.
Ayaw ng mami mo.
Are you serious?
Nakasiping talaga yan. Sabi natin aking nakasiping.
Kinausap ka ng mami ko?
Grabe.
Oh my gosh. Pinagali.
If Joey Reyes, siya yung lyricist, had he stuck to that, kakatahin mo pa rin. No, hindi mo ka magsalita.
I don't know. But to be honest, I when I first heard the study, but do you know whose song that was supposed to be? It wasn't supposed to be for me.
Sino?
There's something that you don't know?
Hindi,
Mr. Butch?
baka nagme-memory gap lang ako. Baka maalala. Remind me.
It was supposed to be for Nora Honor to
Hindi ko alam.
record.
Ay, hindi.
Yeah.
No. Alam ko na, kasi kinanta niya sa Urian, 1991.
Okay, I don't know that, but I know.
Kinanta mo ni Nora Honor sa Urian, 3 grand piano. Tapos, palay ko, somewhere along the way, baka napunta na nga sa'yo.
No, basta she was supposed to record it. I know because when Rudy Lozano, my producer, wanted it from Danny Tan, Danny said, hindi ko pwede ibigay pa or kasi supposed to be i-record yan ni Nora. And then for some reason, ewan ko na kung ano nangyayari doon. Basta sa akin napunta. But at first, I was like, Rudy, are you sure bagay sa akin yan? Kasi parang hindi. And Rudy, well, did his job as a producer and he said, that's, producers have a way of knowing. So, I'm glad I trusted him because Iisa Pa Lamang was my first major giant hit. Okay lang kaya sabihin to. After Louie.
Kanina pala nag-uusapan, ngayon ko pa nahiya.
Siyempre, there was so much pressure on me after Louie and I broke up. Octo Arts dumped me. And parang, kasi wala.
What?
Wala na yung magic team nila. So, tama-tama, the contract ended na, bakit hindi din nabago? So, wala nang Octo Arts. And how what's the adequate word? How much the industry challenges you. Let's put it that way. When things happen unexpectedly. So when Louie and I broke up, the big question was, will Joey ever have another hit song? And that was actually a newspaper article. How kind they are to me, no? And for me at that point, parang, whether I have one or not, I've made my contributions na. So I was happy regardless of if I would have another hit or not. But yeah, then Iisa Pa Lamang came along. And how good is God? Diba? Parang,
wala ka malay-malay. Ang bastos pala nung kantang yun.
No, but somebody did say that song used to be the thing that used to be sung by other gay people and yung gusto nila kasi nga it's such a passionate song. But I didn't know that word. I didn't know they actually changed the word.
Oo.
Oh my gosh.
Kasiping, naging kapiling.
Was that the only word?
Oo. Baka hindi mo nga alam, ibig sabihin ng kasiping eh.
I know naman when you sleep together.
Diba? Kailangan ipaliwanag pa.
Oh, I know naman.
Yan ang natutunan mo sa Canada?
Original Shala.
Hindi, alam ko na yan noon pa. Hello.
Ikaw lang ang mamahalin. Sige. Kanino mo kakantahin yun ngayon?
Now? No, that song was for my dad and my sister. And that was actually, you know what? I remember when Louie came up with that melody. We were in a stage in an auditorium, and he started playing that melody, and it was soon after my sister Anna died, and that one was really for her because Louie was very very attached to my sister Anna, so that would have to be Anna and my dad.
Ang Minsan Pa.
Yakapin mo ako. Who does that remind me of? Freddy Santos.
Okay. Hindi, kanino kakantahin yun ngayon?
Kanino ko kakantay? Ikaw talaga? Naghahanap ka talaga ng ano, ha?
Naman. Ang bait-bait ko siya nung araw, makabawi man lang ngayon.
Wala.
Sige na nga. Sige. I remember the boy.
Have to remind me of about 5th. Siyempre, maalala mo lahat ng manliligaw mo. Pag naalala mo yung isa, maalala mo rin yung isa, tsaka yung isa. At tapos ito pa pala, tsaka yun.
Ilista mo lahat ng nandigan.
Ang dami 50.
Oy, konti ba yun?
I remember the boy. I remember the boy. Sige na nga. Sige na nga, syempre. Joey Chan.
Wala bang mas bata-bata?
Try again.
Sige na. Ano to?
Million miles away.
Million miles away. Parang yun. Parang tayo yun.
Parang kayo. Kakantahin ko yun sa inyo.
Million miles
Kasi,
away.
oo, kakantahin ko yun sa iyo kasi you're so a million miles away na talaga.
Okay. Sige.
Diretso mo na kasi. Anong kanta kakantahin mo kay... Ibahin mo na kasi yung question. Kunyari ka pa. Nang huhukay. Ha, okay.
Titap. Naggumawa ka ng recording ko siya.
Ko titap. So, sa apo ko, pag nagkaroon. Wala.
Na nga. Kasi ano ibig, kinanta mo yun Okay. Kinanta mo yun, alam mo lahat ng lyrics nun?
Kumukuti ko titap?
Oo.
Mostly,
Alam mo yun. Dapat alam mo yung ibig sabihin.
the escocesa.
Ano ibig sabihin escocesas?
It's like those ribbons.
Buti na
It's like...
Hindi ko kasi alam, kaya ako tinanong.
Escocesa kuhit. It's like those striped plaid ribbons. Yung parang plaid, yung parang checker, but it's plaid. It's plaid ribbons.
Escocesas. Okay. Salamat.
Buti na lang may Google.
Tell me, hindi mo tatanungin mo ng tell me.
Ay, nako.
Explain mo ng tell me. Where did I go?
Pwede pag-uwi ng asawa niya mamaya, para ba, tell me where you went.
Kanino ko I guess the next time I'll sing that song should be with the composer. Yan.
Hindi din. Tagal na nun eh. Na-cover na ba natin lahat ng... Hindi. Anong theme song nyo ng husband mo? Siguro, pagpalagay natin.
Gusto mo matawa? Gusto mo talagang matawa, no?
Sige, hulaan ko. A,
Okay.
B, Minsan Pa, C, boom shakalak.
What's that? No, D. None of the above.
Luma pa rin.
What's boom shakalak? Alam ko bang siya nga lang.
Grabe ka naman yun.
Ay, hindi yata. Hindi, Archies yun. The Archies. Oh.
Pero dito, Helen Gamboa yun.
Oh my gosh, talaga. Ikaw talaga, lagi sumasakit siyan ko sa'yo.
Dapat team song.
See, this is what I mean, Anna. Every time I have an interview with Butch, it never turns out proper. It's never a proper interview. I swear, it's never. This is what happens all the time.
Mamaya, pagkatapos ito, kakausapin kita ng masinsinan.
Okay, game. Sige, I'll give you my safety.
Ano na, kasi we're taking so much of your time. Alam ko, marami ko pang lalaban.
Hindi, magluluto pa ako.
Luluto pa siya. Ano ulam niya ngayon?
Lentejas.
Lentils. Masama sa gout yan.
Hindi, yung beans ang masama. Yung lentejas, di masyado. Okay lang. Bakit may gout ka? Yan, gusto mo colchicine? Uy, yung colchicine daw is good for COVID. Uy, itago mo na yung colchicine mo.
Wala ako nung.
Wala.
Anyway, ito. Let me take this.
Serious na, serious.
As an opportunity. So, to greet you on March 19, advance happy birthday.
Oh my gosh! Always! Always talaga.
Birthday.
No, you promised me that you're going to start staying in touch with me on my PM, on Messenger.
Alam mo,
Low-tech po siya, low-tech. Sobra.
Oh
to my phone.
How do I stay in touch with you then?
Ako lang may ganitong phone ngayon.
Oo nga, Nokia.
Ito yung ginamit ni MacArthur na nag-landing siya.
Nokia ba yan?
Oo, ako na lang meron nung.
A, B, C. D.
Yung photo.
So yun. Anyway, ano na lang, sige. To the young generation today, ano lang message mo?
Wait, I just have to say, I'm so sorry that after all this time, I'm still boring to you kasi wala kang makuhang. Wala kang makuhang. So sorry. I totally apologize.
After this, gagawin ka namin.
But I'll never forget you for calling me boring.
Hindi ba ako nabot? Tawang akong tao eh.
Okay, what will I say? My young fans. But, you know what? Oh, okay, serious. It's, like I said, it really blows me away how these young girls have something in me. And whatever it is, I just hope I don't fail them. And what I want to leave behind with them is the legacy of what music can do. My music, then they have to know that there are more things in life that are, because you know, in life, the world they're growing up with is so transient and it's all instant gratification, right? The media, it's fast food, it's Twitter, it's IG, it's all fast and instant and fleeting and transient and to a certain extent shallow, right? And it comes to impress upon them is the gift of a legacy, that there are things in life that can endure time, that can endure generations, that can endure the changes, that can endure change, and these are the things they need to look for. The fact that they find that in me, maybe something inside of them is longing for it, and that's a good thing. So if there's one thing I want to teach them or impress upon them, it's the gift of a legacy, or what legacy means and what it is. So sana yun, ma-appreciate nila yun, and I hope they find their own legacy.
Ako naman, I'm speaking on her behalf na rin, wala naman choice. I know, your grandson, lahat may nag-research about very, mga doktor yung mga ano niya, mga ninuno niya. Pero ikaw naman, you changed it, and thank you so much. We'll never forget you kasi nga, yung sinasabi mong the legacy. Thank you for the legacy sa music because ang dami talaga nakatulong ng mga kanta mo sa mga sawi. At hindi lang sawi, anybody who loves music basically, any music lover will always have space in their hearts for the songs of Joey Albert.
Thank you. You know, some of my most treasured moments is when I hear people say, or they write me and they say, you know, yours was the first cassette I bought with my baon. I'm like, who of the young new singers will ever hear that said to them? Who of them will ever know how gratifying that feels? That somebody saved her baon, and the first thing they bought from the savings of their baon was my cassette. Who in the world now is ever going to experience that? You're not going to say yours is it's not the same. Say yours is the first song I put on my playlist. Hindi diba? Ito nag-save ng baon tapos sa dami ng pwede niyang bilhin, cassette mo yung binili niya, diba? Or sometimes I'll go to a hotel in this one. I went to a hotel in Saskatoon. Saskatoon, you know how far that is? Yung snow sa Saskatoon, hindi ganito ang bagsak. Pag ganito.
I know the thing, but I cannot spell it. Okay.
The snow there doesn't fall this way. It falls like this. Kasi lakas-lakas. And then the girl in the hotel, the desk, who was registering me, was Filipina, and she recognized me. And she said, Joey, when I came here, one of the few things I brought was your CD. And she played it every night daw, crying, until she finally started to build a life for herself. I'm like, wow, I did that because of my CD. Diba? Parang, you know, more than all the awards that I've received, more than anything else, you know, after singing for 40 years, it is these things and these stories that matter. And that's why I love Dear Joey, because Dear Joey is essentially stories. Everybody has a story. What I treasure most are the stories my fans tell me. And life is one big story. So hopefully Dear Joey will capture that.
Hindi naman tayo ng isang tell me dyan bago tayo mag-ending.
Tell me ba talaga yung gusto mo? Mamili ka.
Kumukitik-kutita.
Kumukitik-kutita po. Yan ang indak ng mga pamilya. Okay. No. But, Anna,
Yes po, tell me.
what is your favorite talaga? Is it really Tell Me? No. Okay, fine.
Lahat favorites ko eh.
Lahat favorite mo eh.
Oo.
Yan ang aking karaoke piece.
Tell me. Okay. There are nights when I can't help but cry, and I wonder why you had to leave me. Why did it have to end so soon when you said that you would never leave me? Tell me, where did I go wrong? What did I do to make you change your mind completely? When I thought this love would never end. But if this love's not ours to have, I'll let it go with your goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
That's really a fitting way to say goodbye, and we will miss you, but till the next time. Okay.
And I do miss you, which I really do, of all. And I will say it one last time if I never get a chance to say it again. You have always been the most delightful of them all. Thank you.
Very much. And with that, I have to excuse myself because I need a good cry. Anyway, maraming salamat. Okay?
Nice to meet you, Anna. Bye-bye.
Yeah.